So these diagrams I'll explain because these diagrams are pretty important. Now your enclosed spaces are spaces that are bounded by ship's hull by fixed or portable partitions or bulkheads, by decks or coverings other than permanent or movable awnings. There should not be any break in deck nor any opening in ship's hull, in the deck or in the covering of a space or in the partitions or bulkhead of space, nor the absence of partition or bulkhead shall preclude a space from being included in enclosed space. Because you have to require it for your tonnage calculations. So what are included and what are excluded? So enclosed space will be included in your tonnage calculations. Excluded spaces will not be included in volume of enclosed spaces. Now then excluded spaces are not included in the volume of enclosed spaces except that such space which fulfills the least of the following three conditions shall be treated as enclosed space. So these ones will be considered as enclosed space, otherwise others will be considered as excluded space. If that space is fitted with shelves or means of securing cargo or stores, then it will be considered as enclosed space because you are utilizing it for cargo. Now in your tonnage measurement, the main thing which we are calculating is which areas we can secure your cargo. If your space can be utilized for cargo, so that will be included in space. So if you have shelves or means of securing cargo or stores, then it will be included in tonnage calculations. If they are fitted by means of enclosure, then also it will be included in your tonnage and calculation. There will be an enclosed space. Third, if you can have a possibility of having the opening being closed, then that will be considered as enclosed space because there you can store your cargo. Now we'll be coming to each and each point now. A1, A2, A3, B, all these spaces will come to. Basis that the diagrams will be coming to. These diagrams will come to. A space within an erection opposite to an end opening extending from deck to deck. So this is figure 1 of appendix 1. This one. Figure 1 of appendix 1. So this is the figure we are talking about. And we have figure 2, the figure 3, figure 4, and figure 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So we'll now match each point with each figure. So except where a curtain plate of depth not exceeding by 25 mm, 1 inch, the depth of adjoining deck beam such that the opening have a breadth equal to or greater than 90% of breadth of the deck at the line of opening of the space. Now we come to the diagram first. I'll show you a diagram. Just a second. Now if you see this diagram, because we have to relate each point with the diagram, that's why the understanding here becomes more important. Which are excluded or which are not excluded. Now this is, the breadth is greater than 90%. This is your breadth. Now here the thing is O and C. Now if you see what is O and C. So except for a curtain plate of depth not exceeding more than 25 mm, 1 inch, the depth of the adjoining deck beam, such opening having a breadth equal to or greater than 90% of breadth of deck at the line of the opening of the space. This provision shall be applied to exclude from the enclosed spaces only the space between actual opening and the line drawn parallel to the side or face of the opening at a distance from the opening equal to half width of the deck at the line of the opening. We'll come to that. This area will be excluded. This will be included. Because now of your breadth of half breadth area here, you have another enclosure here. And this is open. This area is open. This is closed. Okay, this area is closed. So this area is open and the breadth of this covering, now you have a covering here, this is an opening here on the side. So this is greater than 90% of breadth, greater than equal to 90% of your breadth. 0.9 of the, not 90, 0.9% of your breadth. So this is because this opening is there, and this area, this section is also greater than equal to 0.9 of your breadth. So this area, this section will be considered as excluded and will only take this area as calculation. Now that's as per the load line rules. That is the first condition. So a line drawn parallel to this will be excluded. That is up to 50% of your breadth from this edge. That's the first point. Now we come to A2. That will be coming to figures 2, 3 and 4 of appendix 1. Now should the width of the space between any arrangement except by conversions of outside plating become less than 90% of the breadth of the deck, only the space between line of opening and a line drawn parallel to the point where the athwartship width becomes equal to or less than 90% of breadth shall be excluded from the volume of enclosed spaces. Now these areas. Now this area we are excluding now. Similarly, in this area we are excluding and this area we are excluding. Now how? You have a enclosed area here. You have an opening here. And this area is B by 2 or 50% of breadth. But why we are taking from here? Why we are not taking from here? Because in this section, this is a closure here. your breadth is reduced by 90%. Less than this. Here it was greater than equal to 0.9, but here it is less than zero point 0.9. This is greater than equal to zero point 0.9. So we only take from this edge, we are not taking from this half. So that is the first condition. Similarly, in this condition, this is b by 2 and you have a tapering area here. This area is open. This area is open. Now this area is reduced to less than 0.9 b. So this whole area is reduced to less than 0.9 b. So till b by 2, this section will exclude, this section will include. The third condition here, you have two closures here in this area only. In this area, you made two closures. And this is your breadth, and this is b by 2. But we are not taken till here because internally this breadth is reduced by less than 90% of breadth. So this area will be excluded. Oh, this area will be excluded. This will be included. Now I have to see what is I. I क्या चीज है? This area तो exclude हो गया. This is included. अभी I क्या है? You have to see what is I. Not mentioned in this. What is I? We come to the next point. Now we come to this diagrams which are 5 and 6. This diagrams we will come to. So we have done 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we come to diagrams 5 and 6. So where the interval which is completely open, now the thing is this diagram you have, these areas are completely open. But you have railing or bulwark here. So these are not enclosed area, but these are open by which you have either railing or bulwark. Similarly, you have railing or bulwark. Now here you have a hatch or erection. Here you don't have a hatch and erection. So which area you are going to consider enclosed, which you are considering excluded. So where the interval which is completely open, except for bulwarks or open rails separating two spaces, the exclusion of one or both of which is permitted under the subparagraph. Such exclusion shall not apply if the separation between the two spaces is less than least half breadth of the deck in way of separation. So now we'll come to the diagram. Now you have an opening here, you have an opening here. Now this is little cover here, and this got more cover here. So this has got more cover as compared to this section which are covered here. Both areas are covered now. The section here opening, the cover here is less. This is more. So the opening here is more than 0.9 b here. Opening is greater than equal to 0.9 b. Opening here is less than 0.9 b. This separation between them is greater than equal to half the breadth of the ship. This is equal to half the breadth of ship. Here we don't measure half the breadth because we are only considered with this, not considered with this. Because this is less than 9.9 b, so this is covered here. So that is the covered area. Yeah. So this will be enclosed and this will be excluded. Oh. So this will be excluded, this will be included. Now we come to the second section. Now this will also be included. Here I will also be included in the calculation. O will be excluded. So I and C both are included here. Because in this diagram you have I, so this is included in the calculation. Now the thing is the separation. You have a bulwark here, you have a railing and bulwark here. The separation here is greater than equal to B by 2. You have similar cover here and similar cover here, except that you have a hatch or an erection in between. You have a hatch combing here or you have a hatch here. This area is, this section is greater than equal to 0.9 B. This opening is less than 0.9 B. And the distance between the hatch opening and this point is less than B by 2. That is very important here. If it is less than B by 2, this edge of your hatch and this edge here of the opening of the enclosure here and enclosure here, these are less than B by 2. Then these areas will all be included in the calculation. Because here you have a hatch, the distance between these 2 points less than B by 2. So this areas all will be included in your calculation. Here there was no hatch, so this will be omitted and this will be considered. O is omitted, this is considered. So here you will be enclosed and this will be omitted. Now we come to the next figure 7 and 8. Now you have a space under overhead deck covering open to sea and weather. Having no other connection on exposed side of the body with the body of ship than stanchions necessary for support. So you have a cover here plus stanchions to cover this. जैसे हम ऊपर पर छतरी लगा के रखते हैं, tarpaulin लगाया है कुछ ऐसे. So there's a cover here with stanchions. So space under overhead deck covering open to sea and weather, having no other connection on exposed deck with the body of the ship except the stanchion necessary to support. In such space, open rails or bulwark or curtain plate may be fitted, or stanchions may be fitted on the ship side, provided that distance between the top of the rail or the bulwark and the curtain plate is not less than 0.75 meters, or 1/3 of the height of the space, whichever is greater. So this is height, this is h. H is greater than or equal to h by 3 but not less than 2.5 feet. So h should not be less than 2.5 feet. And this h is greater than or equal to h by 3. So this area will be excluded because this is open. Now we come to the next point. Which areas will be omitted here? Now we'll come to that point. The next diagram. C points. So space in side to side erection directly in way of opposite side opening not less than height that is 0.75 meters or 1/3 of the height of the erection, whichever is greater. If the opening in this erection is provided on one side only, The space to be excluded from the volume enclosed spaces shall be limited inboard from the opening to maximum of half breadth of the deck in way of opening. Here it is totally open, so that will be excluded. Now here how it will be done, we'll show the diagram. This side is open, this side is closed. This side is closed, port ship on the end. That side is also closed. This side is open. Now if your both sides are open, then it will be excluded here. Oh, but suppose only one side is opening, then how the calculations are done? So this is h, this is small h, this is length. Then, and this is the breadth of this opening, the breadth here of the closure, and this is B, this is B1. This section is B by 2, this section is B by 2. And here, h is greater than equal to h by 3, or not less than 2.5 feet. If it is open on both sides, then we are excluding it. If it is open only one side, this is closed, then B by 2 distance from here, B by 2 distance from here, we are excluding it, rest all we are including. That is figure 8. If both sides open, then we exclude everything. If one side is closed, B by 2, this section we will exclude, this section all included in the calculation. D. A space in erection immediately below an uncovered opening in deck overhead, provided that opening is exposed to weather and the space is excluded from enclosed spaces, a limit to the area of opening. Now, how this is excluded? So, if there is an opening here, this is your deck. So, this till depth, this is open. So, this volume A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, GH, this A volume will be excluded because it's open to the weather. So this is excluded. That was 9. Now we come to 10. So recess in the boundary bulkhead of an erection which is exposed to weather and opening to which extends from deck to deck without means of closing, provided the interior width is not greater than the width of the entrance and its extension into erection is not greater than twice the width of the entrance. Now how we will come to the diagram. Now this is the width which is W2 and this is the breadth here is L2, length here. So L2 is less than twice of this. So this area will be excluded. This area is excluded because it's open. Now here your opening is only this much. This is not the opening here. Opening is only this much. Here the opening was W by 2. Here the opening is W1. W2, W1. So this area will be excluded. And here I1 is greater than twice of W1. So this area will be included. This whole is included plus this area is included. This is excluded. This is enclosed, this is included, and this is excluded in the calculation. So I basically is greater than twice of the width here because the opening is only small, this opening is more. So I2 is less than twice of W2. So this area is excluded and I is included because I1 is greater than twice of width. So that was your explanation of excluded and included. ये सारे diagrams उसी के बने हुए हैं. Hope you have understood everything. If not, if you want a repeat, I will do it next time. Okay. But here you have to understand that because it is very difficult to understand otherwise. If any mismatch is there, you're going to forget what is what. So if you want a re-explanation, I will do it next time. Before I start, I will do a very fast explanation. Next time, a revision of 10 minutes for this excluded, included spaces. Then we'll start with passenger subdivision. Okay? किसी को समझ आया कि नहीं आया कि सब ऊपर से चला गया? किसी को समझ आया कि नहीं आया सब ऊपर से गया?
थोड़ा सा आया कंफ्यूजन।
फेब्रुअरी बैच को तो पूरा समझ आ गया है, उसके लिए तो रिवीजन हो गया है। फेब्रुअरी बैच तुम लोग समझ आया कि नहीं आया? अभी भी जवाब नहीं आ रहा है। तीसरी बार में समझ आएगा लगता है। चलो अगले टाइम आई विल गिव यू 10 मिनट रिवीजन ऑन दिस एक्सक्लूडेड इंक्लूडेड एंड देन वी स्टार्ट विद पैसेंजर सब डिवीजन। ठीक है भाई? ओके, विल टेक अ ब्रेक नाउ।